Hello, children. Good morning once again. Um, in my last class with you in S.st, we have started the first lesson about when, where, and how. And we have completed about what is history and what is it all about, right? So today we will start our chapter from what is the importance of studying history. Children, as I've already told you, that history is the most and very important part of our life because history is the past, right? Now, past records. If you don't know about your past, how can you be able to know about your future? When your past is not known to you, you cannot secure your future. আগে কি হয়ে গেছে সেটা যদি না জানতে পারো, দেন আজকে কি হবে সেটা তো তুমি বলতে পারবে না, ডিসাইডও করতে পারবে না। সো ইট ইজ বেটার if you first know about your past. So let's start. Importance of studying history. People often ask, why should we study history if it deals with things that happened long, long ago? What does it have to do with us? Very good question. Now, something which has already been covered up or already been over, what's the use of learning that? Of course, it is very, very important and it's of a great use. How? Let's discuss one story. When a child or when a baby boy or a baby girl takes birth in this world and unfortunately loses his or her father, then as he or she grows up, people says lots and lots of words about him regarding his character, regarding his job, regarding his appearance, regarding his behavior, and so many other things are also there. So what does it happens? And it happens like the baby comes close to his mother and asks that, Mama, who was my father? And how was he? What he used to do? Then his mother or her mother asks, why? Why do you want to know all this about him right now? So he says that I'm listening so many things about my father outside. So I need to know what is the fact. Now, why does the child want to know what is the fact? Because the work or the impression of his father of or her father is going to be on her or is going to be on him. বাবার কাজ যেরকম বাবা করেছে তার উপর বেস করে আমরা বাচ্চাদের ক্যালকুলেট করে থাকি। His father was like that, so he is like this. This means what? उसके पापा ऐसे थे, his father was like that. By the work of his father, I am calculating his baby or his child. So father is the past, child is the present. Now you can understand. Past roles a very, very important part. Rather, past plays a very significant role in your present. So that's why past should be clear to you. Then only you can step up in the present life. I hope I can clear the point. Now, there are many reasons to study history. Let's see what are the reasons given in the book. History shows us how things have changed over time. History helps us understand how societies and communities evolved and changed simultaneously. The past holds many lessons for us to learn from. Very true. How the time has changed and what were the circumstances, what were the barriers, what were the problems that people has to face to overcome their past situations. That we can learn from history, rather that we can know from history. Secondly, it helps us to understand the societies. What was the condition of the society and how the society is standing in this position today. That also we can calculate from history itself. Now, there are lots and lots of things to learn from history. How come? Because when we do some mistake or when we commit some mistake, we learn that, oh, this is a wrong thing, so I'm not going to do or repeat the same thing further. That is, wrong is the past, correction is the present. So from the past, from our wrong works, we learn a lesson for present. This is the third point. Fourth, there were some movements of human beings which had turned up or which had resulted to a very horrified situation. Horrified, terrified, bhoir, डरने वाली बात. They have done something very wrong, but they could not understand it was wrong. So that's why they had to face a very horrified situation. And that situation gives us the lesson that those things should not be repeated further. And fifth, history teaches us about people from other cultures. In those days, people from different cultures started to live together because that was the starting point of society. They were learning to be a social person. So that's why it was not possible for them to demarcate each and every person religiously or in culture or in caste. Right? Now, date and timings. For a long time, date and history were counted from year in which Jesus Christ was believed to have been born. So, in those days, people were not so much qualified, rather, they were illiterate. So, they used to calculate, uh, for example, last year, Christ expired. So, last year till this year, this is 1. Again, that time being to the next time being becomes 2. Like that, they used to count. They were not so much accustomed with the time, date, or year, right? So the time before the death of the Christ was known as before Christ or BC. You must have been acquainted with the terms BC. So BC means before Christ, and or AD means Anno Domini. That means when Jesus was there. That means when he was alive, right? That is called Anno Domini or AD. AD. Now, however, a more neutral system of dating is used, and BCE or before Common Era is used in place of BC and CE in place of AD. Now, later, the terms changed. The BC remained as it was, and AD changed to CE. It is important to keep in mind that years that come before the Common Era are counted backward. This is very important point. Era that come before Common Era means CE, is always counted backward. That is 200 CE, 198 CE, 197 CE. It will not go further. It will go back. Because Common Era has started after the death of the Christ. That's why it is counted uh, backside. Backside of that. Backward. For example, in the timeline, 200 BC comes before 100 BC. 100 BC means this is the time after 200 BC. And when I am writing 200 BC, that means it is before 100 BC. মানে পিছন দিকে কাউন্ট করবে 200 BC মানে ওটা কিন্তু অনেক প্রিভিয়াস আর 100 BC মানে ওটা কিন্তু অনেক প্রেজেন্ট ঠিক আছে Sirsa is another important term used in dating events. It means approximately. Circa, C-I-R-C-A. It is used in cases where the exact dates of event are not known. Some event were there, some situations took place when people could not exact tell you the date. That time is called circa or sirsa. Somebody pronounced like sirsa, somebody pronounced like circa. Now, what are the sources of history? How come we able to know that what had taken place in those days? There are some sources যেগুলোর মাধ্যম দিয়ে আমরা হিস্ট্রিটাকে জানতে পারি। First was archaeological sources. Archaeology means, I have already explained in my first class. Archaeology means when we dig the ground and find out something, that is archaeological excavations or archaeology. Right. Now, and the other is literary sources, something written. Because people started to learn, no? They started drawing pictures and making symbols and all. Now, first we will discuss about the archaeological sources. Archaeology is the scientific study of past based on its physical remains. Remains যেগুলো পড়ে আছে, left out. The place from where these remains are excavated. Excavated when you dig the ground and find out. That is excavations. That is dug out. You see, just now I told you. Is an archaeological site area, site site area. An archaeologist, the person who excavate the land and find out, excavate such site and analyzes the subject from there in order to reconstruct history. Reconstruct history means to reconstruct what has already been happened, so that the people or the person who are reading now, they can easily calculate how come the situations has taken place at that time. Archaeological object could include tool, weapon, pottery, tools, things which were used at the time, weapons, auzar, pottery, um, utensils, you can say, jewelry, cloths, seals. Seals means a coin like thing, and one picture is over there, stamped. Paintings, sculptures, the figures made with clay and mud. Coins, small round type things. Monuments, um, buildings, and even remains entire cities. And else, what they have got, they are the only source of information about prehistory. Through these, the historians, they calculate how old a thing was and what exactly used to happen at that time. There are languages, and historians know that. Archaeological sources are important. Now, archaeological sources are very, very important. Why? Why are they important? Because they are the only source of reconstructing the past where written sources are not available. Now, in all the phases, written sources are not found. We have to depend only on archaeological excavations. And so, these excavations or archaeological study played a very important, significant role in learning history and learning our past. They are helpful for verifying data found in written records. We can verify that whatever written records we are getting, whether they are up to date or not, whether really these events has taken place or not. Because archaeological excavations means those things which those people used to use, ব্যবহার করা জিনিস, right? So things cannot be false. কেউ তো নিজের জিনিস মাটিতে ভুলভাল রেখে দেবে না, and they were not being kept inside the land or inside the sand or mud or whatever it is. Only because of some natural calamities, probably some volcanoes happened or earthquake happened, and all those buildings they fell down, and there was mud and soil and everything on that, and they became drowned, right? Dug inside the ground, and later on, through some instrument, it has been understood that there is something, and they were being pulled out by the excavators. So, children, these were the archaeological sources through which we can understand. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures. See, this is pottery. These are the pictures. You see, this is the area covered with stones, big stones. This is a seal, and these are the coins. You can see a picture is engraved over there. So these are the coins, and this is the building. Okay, so I think this much is very clear to you all. So in my next class, we will discuss about the literary sources and we will finish the chapter. Then we will shift to the exercise. So please go through it very nicely, and very soon we will overcome this hard situation. So stay home, be healthy, be happy, and do concentrate in your studies. Take care.